We all want to look our very best and we all want to wear our finest fineries, which is what Hans Christian Andersen wrote all about in The Emperor's New Clothes, that mythical and absolutely fantastic tale. Now, a game under the same name has been launched called The Emperor's New Clothes, and it's all based about that concept of wearing your best clothes, and if people cannot really see them, it is their fault and not the clothes themselves. Now, obviously, this is a very, very risky offering because you're playing with people's emotions and fantasies. So I'm very keen to find out what and how they have done it to live up to every single expectation out there. It would be very interesting. But before you go out and buy the game, we're going to take a look inside and we're going to tell you if the money you have to spend to get your hands on this game is actually worth it. Welcome to the GMS Magazine unboxing videos. How does one make a game that actually plays to people's imaginations? It's not just about the game itself, but how people see the game. That is exactly what Emperor's New Clothes is trying to do. It's trying to influence people at a very subliminal, very subtle level to make sure that everybody gets a very different experience. But are they going to succeed with this game? Are they going to succeed with the components? And that's what I'm very curious about. It's very interesting that the first thing you see in this game is that they have made the box cover is actually opaque. They add to the mystery of what's inside the game by wrapping the game in the box in opaque plastic instead of the normal transparent one, which is quite interesting. I mean, very risky indeed, but that's what it is. So, oh my God, that is amazing. Once we get rid of the plastic, and I can see why they've done this. I really can see why they have they decided to do that. This is possibly, I'm getting even emotional. This is possibly the most amazingly beautiful cover I have ever seen in a board game. I kid you not. The color palette, it feels like they have invented new colors to achieve this amazing, beautiful effect. And considering that the box is just square, there is nothing really to play with regarding the composition. There it is. It's so beautifully organized. It's just absolutely fantastic. And even the typography for the title and the name of the game is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. And that comes from a dyslexic, and I have difficulties reading some of these bizarre kind of fonts. That is just absolutely incredible. That alone makes worth buying this game. But let's continue. Let's go ahead. The box is really sturdy, very, very well made, and the design inside the box is actually quite normal. There's nothing to scream home about. They obviously have decided not to make an effort within the inside of the box to concentrate on the outside and make it perfect. And I mean, but looking at that, it has paid off so well. It's just wonderful. Firstly, we have the rules. Again, following on the same composition, the same color scheme, and the same quality of the color of the cover is just absolutely amazing. The layout is just so inventive. This is seriously inventive. The fonts are just in the right place. They have exactly the right sizes, and the notes are just in the right place to make sure that you're not missing on anything. And yet they have managed to give that little bit of adventure to the layout. They're taking that little bit of a risk to make sure that it's not like any other games rule. It's just absolutely wonderful. That watermark doesn't really intrude with anything at all. And all the paragraphs, all the sections are laid out really well. So it just makes it really easy. The eye is just really flowing into the rules absolutely wonderfully. That is just... that is absolutely wonderful. So many people should take so many lessons on how to do proper rules books from this alone. It's awesome. The board, it feels very light, which is not neither here nor there, neither good or bad, which is fine. And 1 second, just to go against everything else, the board is exactly what you weren't expecting. Yes, it's a bit wobbly here and there, so you need to do something about that, but nothing that flattening it a little bit won't do anything about. It's the texture is just fantastic. Very, very nice texture, so the dice are not really going to be sliding around or anything. Absolutely beautiful. The graphic design is truly, truly top-notch. Not a single space in this board has been left without proper thought and consideration, which is absolutely wonderful. Just by looking at it, you can see exactly where your pieces are going to go. You can see exactly where the dice are going to be rolled. The space for the cards being beautifully balanced so they can fit exactly where they should be fitting. This is not a board that has been designed on a whim. This really has been obviously very much play tested and very much looked into to make sure that every square inch is utilized as it should be, as it's meant to be utilized. Again, I really cannot find anything to fault this board. If anything, probably it's its own perfection that I'm a bit miffed about, because I'm not going to look at any other game from now on and not think about why haven't they done like Emperor's New Clothes. I really am not. So I'm a bit... This is raising the bar very, very high. Inside, we have some tokens. These are just wooden sheets. There's nothing particularly amazing about that. Very interesting choice of color, though. This is not the sort of color that you would expect to see in most games. And this is not bad at all. It really goes very well with the rest of the art direction and the illustration style that they have used for the rest of the game. So it tightens it up quite nicely. And because the color is so different from anything else that's on the board, it will make very easy to spot where the cheats are and where they are meant to be going. And that, yeah, that is a triumph as far as I'm concerned. Great that they all come in baggies, by the way, rather than being, in spruce or whatever. A series of expansion. I'm not entirely sure what these mean. Why are they even there? I think I found out what the flaw is with this game. These are nothing to do with the rest of the art direction of the game. Why are they even here? That is lovely though. I'm kind of confused with this game because suddenly you have wonderful, absolutely wonderful card design with the same fantastic style that you have in the board, so in the box, which is I mean it's just so amazing. And then you get that, which looks completely different. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything else. I wouldn't even know what to do with these cards. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not bad. But seriously, look at them side by side. Which one do you go for? Exactly, no-brainer, absolutely no-brainer. So why spoil the game with two completely different styles? I don't get it. Then we have the player tokens. These are just little cubes. I'm not going to get them out of the box because they're little cubes. Once again, very wise choice in terms of the color scheme that they have used and the shapes that they have decided to use, because they're going to be spotted very easily against all the graphic design, the art color, and the palette, and the artwork that they have used on the board and on some of the cards. So that, absolutely top notch. Look at the dice. Oh my goodness, the dice are just amazing. Wow, very thick, very heavy. Very thick and very heavy. Absolutely loving it. And the iconography. The iconography is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is some of the best iconography I have ever seen in a game. Totally wonderful in all the faces of every single die. Absolutely wonderful. And last but not least, oh, you see, that's more like it. Thank goodness for that. So seriously, this, which is a mini expansion that you probably got with a Kickstarter, ignore that. There's absolutely no point whatsoever. Why would you want to use that when you have a set of cards like this? I mean, the whole thing is just absolutely marvelous. Every single card, and not one repeated piece of artwork. This is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the same can be said about the design on the reverse of the cards. Is the whole thing has so lovingly put together. I had great expectations of this game when I backed it in Kickstarter. I fell for the vision of the designer, and I have to say this has met every single expectation I had, except that little expansion in there, which is a bit bizarre. I would definitely recommend this game for its production values are just absolutely second to none. And if companies out there have any sense whatsoever, they should keep a copy of this game very close indeed, and take example every time a game is going to be published, because you're not gonna find a game so tightly put together, so beautifully art directed, so wonderfully graphic designed, and so perfectly matching with the ethos of the theme of the game. The only thing about this game which is possibly the only little flaw that I can find, is that in truth, it's so tight, it's so perfect, that it doesn't leave anything to the imagination. That's the only thing. But apart from that, this is just the best game ever. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to these videos because we're going to be seeing an awful lot more of them. And until the next time, do keep gaming.